Hey everybody, here with Chad. Chad, why don't you introduce yourself to social media before we get started?
My name is Chad Bowman. I'm the president of Gentle Grain Goods. How do you want me to introduce the company too?
Tell people how to get in touch with you, Chad.
All right. So you can reach us on www.gentlegraingoods.com, and we are also on social media, Facebook, all the fun places. And our online store is available there as well.
That's awesome. So, Gentle Grain Goods. Tell us about Gentle Grain Goods. How did it come about? Why are you doing what you do? And what do you do?
So a number of years ago, I don't even remember how many anymore, I started eating gluten-free. And I did that because I was having issues with my joints and some other things. And the doctor recommended I give it a try. So I did for 60 days. And it really worked very well, but it sucked a lot. Everything I ate was horrible. You couldn't have anything good. I couldn't order a pizza. I couldn't have my local Asian place that I liked. So at the end of 60 days, I was like, I do feel better, but it's not so much worth it that I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to go back. I tried going back and I couldn't. Once I'd left, it was like something happened to my body, and now it was 2 or 3 times as bad as it was originally. So I ate gluten-free for years, and I never enjoyed it, but I was good with doing it because it was better for me. It made me feel better, all of that kind of stuff. At one point, I found an online stream of something called an Italian buffet. And it was a lot of people who couldn't eat gluten, but could go to Italy for a week and eat everything they wanted, never felt bloated, never felt sick, never felt anything. And then we'd come home and they couldn't eat any of it anymore. And I was intrigued. So I actually ordered some Italian flour myself, and I made my own pizza crust and my own bread and a couple other things. And what we found was that I could eat all of that stuff and it never bothered me at all. So whatever it was, and we didn't really do a lot of research into why, just by using flour made in some other countries, not in America, I could eat the food. So we started doing that, and we were doing that for ourselves. But like everybody else, I'm busy. Making your own bread, making your own pasta, making your own pizza crust, all of those things takes a lot of time that we really didn't have time for. So I started looking online for people who were selling it, and it doesn't exist. Nobody was making it. So there are certainly companies out there that make Italian breads, but they don't use Italian wheats. Or there are companies out there that do make actual full Italian pastas. You can in fact get them at Costco, but you have to be really careful because just because they say they're from Italy doesn't mean they were grown in Italy. So you have to really watch what you're doing. So we decided to create a company that would do that for everybody in that group. And that's where Gentle Grain Goods came from. The Gentle was about how it treated you and how it treated your stomach. And in the end, those items, it turns out that about 9% of the population eats gluten-free, and only 10% of those people have celiac disease. Now, if you have celiac, doesn't matter if it's from Italy, doesn't matter where it's from, you should not eat it because it's bad for your lower intestine. It'll actually still work. You won't feel the symptoms, but it's still going to be hurting your lower intestine. So I don't recommend it to anybody who does that. However, if you don't, we're talking about 30 million people across the U.S. who could eat actual, real wheat flour products and don't because of how it treats their body. So we saw an open market and decided that's the market we were going after.
That's awesome. So, Chad, I know that the wheat is just one portion of what makes your bread different. You guys also take the care of all the ingredients that are going into your breads. Why don't you talk a little bit about that story?
Okay. So when we started the business and we were really focused on that wheat, we found that I was getting a lot of people that were coming to me and going, I would really love to eat it, but I'm also dairy sensitive, or I can't eat casein, or I can't eat all these different things that are in some of these products. So we kind of looked into one at a time. What's the best way we can make the best things for everybody? And so we did. So we found that if we use ghee instead of butter, it removes all the casein, it removes all the lactose. So there were 2 additional groups of people that can now enjoy products that tasted as good but weren't exactly the same. And we decided to take it to everything. So we only use unbleached, raw, organic cane sugar. We don't use any other sweeteners of any kind. We only use RO filtered water. It is literally 4 parts per million of anything other than water. We only use Mediterranean sea salt because you get a little bit extra minerals from that instead of just using standard iodized salt. So all the ingredients that we use in all of our products are the best we can find for the health of Americans.
So is bread your only line right now? What other things? You talked about pastas, things like that. What are you guys offering currently as far as the different breads go? What's the future look like for Gentle Greens?
So there's a couple of interesting things related to that. So in our original business plan, what we wanted to do was just provide a national market that we could answer to on our website. What we found is that in some ways that works just fine, but there are certain foods it doesn't. So sourdough breads is a good example. People love our sourdough breads. However, those only last between 3 and 5 days without being frozen. So shipping them is a non-option because even trying to freeze them and do that, it's cost prohibitive to try and do that. Other breads that have preservatives in, we can ship those just fine. So other products, we're looking at adding pasta to the list of products that we do. However, we would love to serve fresh pasta. Can't ship that either. We have to dry it in order to ship it. We will serve other things. We're currently making what we call crouton snackers. They're basically sourdough bread flavored with extra virgin olive oil and certain other spices or other things like that in 4 or 5 ounce bags that are of different flavors. So people can have kind of snacks or add them to salads or do whatever you want with them. We're going to include crackers and other things like that. Really what I'm thinking is anything that we can make, and I'm open to ideas on products that people who currently have gluten sensitivity or other allergies that they can't eat because of that, to give them an option that isn't some kind of weird Franken-chemical version of what used to be that food.
I can just tell you from my wife's perspective, who has a gluten sensitivity, pizza crust. So you need to get on that one.
Yes.
Because we've all had Udi's pizza crust, and it is what it is. Thank goodness it's out there, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So we've got a group of people here. I'm sure there's some great questions for the audience. I kind of want to hear what they have to say. Mr. Billy, what do you got for me?
I have a question. A lot of the Medicare plans and other like EBT programs offer the healthy grocery option. Are you set up to take those as payment?
I am not, but I would be open to doing it.
Okay.
No.
Any other questions from the audience before I dive into mine?
How many different types of bread do you make?
Currently, we have 14 different loaves. 13 of them are sourdoughs, and one of them is just a standard white sandwich loaf of bread.
Okay.
But that constantly is expanding and shrinking depending. Like right now, we have 2 seasonal ones that will come off the list probably in a month, and then we'll probably add a couple of new ones. So it's always kind of a mix of different things.
Okay.
And I will absolutely vouch for what he has to say. My wife has gluten sensitivity, and we buy your breads. She has your breads. No problems whatsoever. If she was to go have other gluten items, it's not gentle. It's not gentle on her.
I do not have a gluten sensitivity, and that bread you brought in last time was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Bread I've ever had.
It's fantastic bread. It's nice eating bread that doesn't have preservatives in it. You do have to be cautious of it because you're exactly right. 3 days, and you got to slice it and put it in the freezer to keep that good. You want to slice it before you freeze it. You taught me that.
Yep.
Thank you for that. You got to slice the bread before you freeze it.
Freeze it.
Oh, yeah.
You don't freeze it as a whole.
Yep.
So, what's the best way for everybody out there to get your breads? Because it's absolutely worth the investment.
So right now, our breads are only available through the winter months to Colorado Springs, and we will deliver it every Sunday. We deliver it personally. We don't ship it, but you have to order it by Friday to do that. So go on our website again, www.gentlegraingoods.com. Anything you order by Friday night will be delivered that Sunday in the afternoon or evening. During the summer, that changes. We have different farmers markets and different ways that we can get things out there, but for the winter, it'll just be Sunday delivery.
Sunday, is there a delivery charge for that?
So delivery charge is $5 if you order $35 or less. If you order over $35 of product, delivery is free.
That's excellent. No. Any specials or anything that's seasonal that people need to know about?
Yep. So right now we have 2 seasonal breads. We have pumpkin cinnamon swirl, and we have an orange cranberry, both of which are great fall flavors. And the people that we've had try them have loved them. So give them a try.
Do you take custom bread requests on your site?
We do not, as far as being able to fulfill an order the following week. However, we're more than open to people's ideas if they want to send us an email, which they can do through the website.
Chad, thanks so much for sitting down with me. Before we go ahead and let social media know one more time how to get in touch with you, how to order your bread. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, first of all, please join us on Facebook or Instagram. We will always post any specials that we currently have or any special breads that we're running. Otherwise, www.gentlegraingoods.com is the place to go to order our bread, and I look forward to seeing all of you.